Hi there, and welcome to TokenClick. I'm excited to show you how our platform can transform the way you fund and grow your digital publishing business. TokenClick does something really simple, but powerful. We turn your future ad earnings into immediate cash. Here's how it works. You choose a slice of your upcoming ad revenue, say 20% over the next 3 months, and sell that future income to investors who pay you upfront. It's not a loan, no interest, no equity given up. You're just converting future revenue into capital today. But here's what makes this really exciting. When your audience becomes investors, they become incredibly engaged. They read more, disable ad blockers, and actively promote your platform because your success is their success. Let me show you exactly how this works. The first step for any new publisher is creating an account and going through a simple verification process to build trust with investors. Just basic checks on your revenue history, business registration, and domain ownership. Now, for the sake of this demo, let's assume the verification process is already complete and we're logging in with a verified account to show you what the full publisher dashboard looks like. Perfect! So this is what you see when you log in to your verified TokenClick Publisher account. This is your main dashboard, and I really like how clean and informative it is. Right at the top, you get a quick snapshot of your key metrics, active campaigns, total capital raised, ad revenue deposited, and so on. Below that, there's a great overview chart showing your performance trends over time. But let me show you the real magic by walking through how to actually create a campaign. I'll click on Create New Campaign here. All right, this is where you set up your campaign, essentially where you define exactly what slice of future ad revenue you want to convert into upfront cash. The process is broken down into 4 simple steps. Let me walk through this step by step, and I'll create a sample campaign so you can see how straightforward this is. Step 1, basic details. First, we'll give our campaign a name. Let's call this one Q4 Sports Content Expansion. Maybe this publisher wants to hire more sports writers for the upcoming season. Next, we describe what we'll use the funding for. I'll write something like hiring additional sports journalists and expanding coverage for football and basketball seasons. This helps investors understand what they're funding. Now we set our timeline. Let's say we want the token sale to run from July 25th to July 29th, and then the actual revenue collection period will be from August 1st through October 31st. That's our 3-month window. Click Next to Step 2. Step 2, Token Setup. Here we configure the technical aspects. We decide how many digital shares to create. Let's say 1 million tokens. Think of these like tiny pieces of ownership in this specific revenue stream. The publisher locked percentage lets you keep a portion for yourself. I'll set this to 20%, meaning you retain some exposure to the upside of this particular campaign. Now, this token mint address field shows that your campaign sits on the blockchain and is immutable. This is just for demo purposes and will be completely abstracted away from publishers in production. Our backend will handle all of this automatically. The interface you're seeing is pretty rudimentary at the moment, but we'll be adding more fields based on feedback from publishers and investors about what additional information would be helpful. For payment, we'll use USDC, essentially US dollars. Click Next to Step 3. Step 3, Sale Configuration. Here we decide how to conduct the sale. You can choose between a fixed price sale or an auction format. For this demo, let's select Auction and set a reserve price of $0.1. This means investors can bid, but no shares will be sold below 10 cents each. Click Next to Step 4. Step 4, Review and Submit. Perfect. Here's our final review page where we can see all the details. Our Q4 Sports Content Expansion campaign running from July to October with 1 million tokens, 20% locked for the publisher, and an auction format with a 0.1 reserve price. Click Create Campaign. And there we go. Our campaign is now created and ready to go live once the sale period starts. So now when I go back to the campaigns list, you can see our new Q4 Sports Content Expansion campaign listed here at the top. It's currently in setup status because the sale period hasn't started yet. Let me click into one of the active campaigns to show you what ongoing campaign management looks like. This is your campaign control center. At the top, you can see the key metrics: how many shares have been sold, how much total capital has been raised, how many investors are participating, and how much time is remaining. This particular campaign has raised $60,000 from 4 investors and still has 5 days left for the sale to end. Now, let's look at these different tabs. The Overview tab gives you this high-level summary. The Orders and Bids tab shows you exactly who has invested and when. You can see individual investor addresses, how much they invested, what price they paid, and the timestamp of each investment. This gives you complete visibility into how much each investor is willing to bid for your specific campaign. And this Revenue tab is where the real action happens during the active campaign period. Once your campaign goes live and starts generating ad revenue, this is where the revenue generated during the campaign period will be deposited to the escrow account, which will be distributed to investors at the end of the campaign. Right now, this campaign hasn't started generating revenue yet, so it's empty, but you can see the interface where you'll track all the money flowing through the system. Now, let me show you my favorite part of the platform, the analytics section. This is where you can see the incredible impact that turning your audience into investors has on your business performance. Look at these numbers. This is comparing the behavior of people who invested in your campaigns versus your regular audience. Now, these are mock numbers for demo purposes, but in this example scenario, investors are 157% more engaged. They read more pages, spend longer on your site, disable ad blockers, and return more frequently. But here's the real game changer. They become active promoters of your platform. Because they have skin in the game, investors share your content, bring friends to your site, and actively promote you in their networks. This drives completely new traffic at zero customer acquisition cost. This is especially valuable as publishers face declining top-of-funnel search traffic due to AI overviews and Gen AI-based search. TokenClick essentially creates a hedge against that trend by turning your existing audience into active acquisition channels. The platform models this engagement lift and estimates it could generate an additional $18,300 in incremental ad revenue. While this revenue flows to your investors as part of the tokenized campaign, the engagement behaviors and new user acquisition benefits your entire platform permanently. Now let me quickly show you the Revenue Center. This is your financial tracking hub. It's organized into 3 simple tabs. Token sale proceeds shows the upfront capital you've received. Ad revenue management tracks the revenue your campaigns generate. And distributions shows what's been paid out to investors. Everything is transparent and trackable. You can see this publisher has raised $78,000 in upfront capital and deposited $25,000 in ad revenue so far. Complete financial transparency for you and your investors. And here's your token sales overview, your fundraising command center. You get a high-level view of your total capital raised, tokens sold, and investor count. The campaign table below shows all your fundraising campaigns and their performance, whether they're in setup, actively selling, or completed. This gives you a complete view of your fundraising operation at a glance. TokenClick gives you 3 major benefits: immediate access to capital, a more engaged audience that actively promotes you, and complete transparency and control over your operations. Your day-to-day operations don't change at all. You keep running your platform exactly like you do now. The only difference is that a portion of your ad revenue goes to investors instead of directly to you, but you've already been paid up front for that revenue. The platform handles all the technical complexity, so you can focus on what you do best: growing your audience and creating great content.